Hello everyone and welcome back to Code with Italians. Today we are adapting to a changing world. You like that? You like that, Roberto? Do you like it?
I love the pun. I couldn't have done better. That was the best pun ever. Should write it down.
Welcome back, Roberto, our resident folding devices expert. Is that how you define yourself?
I would say so. Just remember that everything folds at least twice. It's unfolding that usually tricks you.
Fair enough. Yeah. I mean, I shouldn't try to fold my current phone, but maybe maybe another one. There was already a sizable amount of trolling in the chat, so I think today is gonna be one of those days. Keep it up, guys.
Seeing you before the live stream, I would say yes.
Since it's been a while since you've been with us, do you want to remind everyone what you do and why you're here?
Why I'm here, that's always a big mystery. What I do, I'm a developer relations engineer at Google, and I focus on large screens. That means everything that is bigger than a phone and smaller than a TV, more or less, and cars. I mean, no, cars, no. Cars are still large.
I mean, you can fold cars, but that doesn't work too well.
Well, unless they are Autobots. In that case, they fold themselves.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Surprise announcements for Android 16. It works on foldable cars.
I mean, Xiaomi is going to be there right away. I mean, they do phones, they do cars.
They fold twice.
They can do foldable cars. I mean, it's about the corner. Welcome back, Roberto. So, what are we talking about today?
So, I actually wanted to talk about a lot of new things that came out since last time we spoke. Just because, you know, we need to adapt to the adapting world, just to quote Seb. So I wanted to be more adaptive in the adapting world.
Stop it.
So Roberto, just give me humor me for a second. Do you have like an agenda or like a list of bullet points?
Of course I do.
Do you have a vested interest in what you're talking about by any chance?
Come again?
Do you have a vested interest in what you're talking about by any chance?
I actually am very passionate about this stuff, especially when I can make them work and not break them.
Do you ever?
So that's why I'm still excited. I'm looking forward to it.
Fair enough. And I guess I guess they just released Android 15 yesterday on Pixels. So more stuff to talk about, maybe? Is there any new Android 15 only thing we're going to be talking about today?
Yes.
Because I am aware that you sent me a list of the things you wanted to talk about, but I also told you that I was doing code reviews and I didn't have time to read it. So pretend I don't know what you're going to be talking about.
So, actually, yes, but it's not really related to Android 15. I mean, no, it needs Android 15 to work.
Mm-hmm.
But
it seems pretty related.
Yeah, it sounds like a hard dependency to me.
Yeah, it's like,
Sure, you can use this API, but
you need a yesterday phone.
More like
by the way, I'm checking updates. It's happening. Okay. Maybe it's happening.
Oh, you know what would be very funny if you got like a bank OTP code showing up. It's like, look at the other. Oh, fuck.
Look at my credit card, my address, and whatever else.
If only that never happened on the internet.
Well, I mean, a couple of years ago.
You want to see my credit card?
Yeah, no, we did something with an address from somebody that, you know. Oh, yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Pepe.
It's rolling out, so you might not have the notification, but I think if you go and check, you will get it.
It wasn't there 5 hours ago, so it really is rolling out.
Yeah,
as we speak.
I updated my Pixel 7 Pro just before the
stream.
Yes.
Are you insane?
Sure. Why?
I don't know.
I mean,
it's just more opportunity to break shit.
It was running the latest stable. That device.
I guess I should update the code with Italian's phone for when we do live coding.
Yeah. Well. Anyway, so Sebastian, let's go with Roberto Scaletta. How is it in English, Scaletta?
I found many different ways. Outline, line up, even ladder, which I was like, no, that's not the kind of Scaletta I'm looking for.
Wait, were you using Google Translate to find out?
I
provided no context whatsoever?
Yes. No, I used
so you're do you want a little ladder? No, that's not. I mean, yes, but no. That's
not in that sense.
Narrow staircase?
Okay, so sorry, let's regroup. Roberto, please.
Why are we messier than usual?
I don't know. I have a headache. This is my second ibuprofen, so this is intense. Roberto, please
tell us.
Okay.
Oh wait, before you do.
Oh yeah,
Ivan.
Yes.
Ivan thing.
Very, very quickly, because we have some new cool stuff. So I'm gonna just drop a link in the chat for everybody to enjoy, because a couple of weeks ago, Sebastiano and I and you live on Twitch generated the best sticker in the internet. Okay, and then we thought, why don't we make stuff with this? So I'm gonna probably be wearing the t-shirt that I dropped in the chat at DroidCon Milan. Because why not? Because just let's send some attitude around. So if you want to support us,
we could have. If you told me, I could have done like a very poor edit, written like this conference could have been an email.
No, that would be rude. But
it's not true. But it's just taking the piss.
It's just to mess around with people. So if you want to support us in any way, if you have an Amazon Prime subscription, you can connect it to your Twitch account, and you have 1 month for free of Twitch subscription. You can support us with that. With the money, we get things like the stickers, the keychains, and every kind of swag and gadget that we give away at conferences, and every now and then also live here on Twitch. So think about supporting us for free. If you have an Amazon Prime subscription, it's just a couple of clicks away. I can also give you like a very quick guide of how to do it. We have a few screenshots on the website, so if you're interested, just give it a shot. Here is the link. Let's go. And oh yeah, you can buy also the t-shirt. I don't think you can buy this one that I'm wearing. We should probably revamp it in a way.
You were the only person that bought one, so until people tell me I want that t-shirt, I will buy that t-shirt. I will not spend the hour it takes to put it online.
That's fair. So I'm gonna probably run like a survey on Twitter.
A bot farm.
Twitter. No. I want a legit result. So thank you for the support. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe. We are releasing more videos lately, and shorts are actually giving us a lot more visibility. Thank you for the support and the comments on our episodes. Now we are ready to go. Roberto, step number 1.
You forgot one thing, I think.
What?
If you get stickers from our coffee page from now until the end of the month, we will send them at the beginning of November, but they will include some of these beauties for free.
Yes. Yes. So if you buy like a sticker pack, even if you don't see the sticker, the latest sticker on the store, you will get one.
Yes. Sorry for the interruption.
You know what? You could actually make a B-roll of Ivan doing this in many ways and play it.
Like, you mean like upside down?
Yes.
It's always the same. It's always the same thing.
Maybe that's the problem.
Yeah, sure. Like
you should do. You could do abs because you're folding.
Abs.
You know, abs.
Like, sure. I'm in my 40s, man, and I have 3 back surgeries.
You go to the gym every fucking day, dude.
Yeah, but I don't do ads. Who does the ads? Come on. I have a dead bod. I'm very proud of my dead bod. Nobody needs ads. My abs are protected by the layer of fat, and that's how I want them.
It's protection, yes.
I don't want them exposed, right? It's too risky.
They're only mine. Nobody can see them.
It's mine. Roberto, please get us out of here. Let's talk some tech.
I actually wanted to go even deeper down the rabbit hole, but
no,
probably not a good idea.
We can talk creatine and we can talk tattoos if you want.
I do neither of those.
I wanted to tell you that actually my personal trainer lately has a thing with abs, and he was like, "Yeah, we should start with something small, like 5, like." More like 400.
400, yes.
I've been in pain for like 4 days.
Wow.
So now I feel better. I'm not 100% sure about that, but yeah.
That helps.
That helps.
Anyway.
Hopefully. So I know that a few weeks ago, probably my colleague Alex was here. Hi, Alex.
If you're watching, knock. No, wait, that doesn't work.
If you're watching, hello.
And if you're watching this on YouTube, Alex, please like and subscribe.
Yeah, and get us monetized again.
Also, if any of you watching this knows anybody in the AdSense team, please reach out.
If any of you has a cousin in the AdSense team.
Yeah, I mean, if your cousin Vincent works at the AdSense team, please. They closed our account and now we are even poorer than before.
Yeah, those like $5 a month were making all the difference.
Yeah, well, that's still stickers.
Yeah. Okay, Roberto, so, you should talk about something and stop us from talking all the time.
So, now I have a question for you.
Oh, no. I need to answer that.
I'm almost 100% sure, and by almost, I mean around 5.
5 what? 5%. What's the unit?
5%. Okay. I'm 5% sure that you already spoke with Alex and talked about material tree adaptive components, right?
I think so.
There was how was it? Main, secondary layout kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kind of two panes.
Yes. So there is
but that was in July, so I don't remember.
Yeah, no. They're still there.
Yes.
In the new alpha, because we love alphas, we introduced a new API that is the pane expansion. And by pane, I don't mean PAIN, but the pane, like the thing.
No, Sebastiano, that's not. That's just the Italian. Oh. I think it's pane.
Yeah. That other pane, the other pane. Yes.
Is a pan. There's pan au chocolat, pan expansion. Can we have a link? Can we have a link? Can you drop a link? Can you share like a screen or something just to?
I forgot to add the links to my.
It's fine. I'll Google things for you.
Yes. So please go on. So we have.
So the nice thing is that when you use this API, basically your let's say, secondary content, which is the detail, the support, whatever it is, can be resized almost freely by using a pane expansion drag handle. And of course, it works amazingly in Compose. So I'm super excited about that because, well, I love list detail. I don't know why, but
I put Alex's blog post in the chat. That's the one, right?
Yes, but I'm talking about the alpha.
Oh.
I don't like stable things.
Fair enough. I should have known.
Yeah, you
I'm gonna find the alpha whatever.
And anyway, this API is very, 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 very useful, especially when you want to have something like let me find something that has that on a desktop.
So we are talking desktop now. It's not foldable or tablet.
No, it's actually anything. It's
whoop whoop.
Anything that runs Android.
Android on a screen larger, where it makes sense.
Yeah, at least medium.
Where does it make sense? Or rather, where does it not make sense?
Well, actually, if you use the adaptive components, you don't have to wonder that question. No, that's a word that you should never use in my presence. I'm so now. How do you say that?
I mean, like TikTok.
I feel bad now.
No, don't worry. Don't. I know that the thing triggers you, but let's move on. So, but the thing that I remember from the episode with Alex, it was that, as you were mentioning, you don't really need to know where the thing is running because the magical layout thingy is figuring out by itself if you need the list, if you need the list plus the detail or something like that.
Yeah, well, it's not really magic.
Well, there are breakpoints. I guess there are like there are sizes
yes.
and weeds and things.
Exactly. No, well, actually, it's based on the idea of window size classes. Basically, it calculates how much screen space you have. And it's important that we call it screen space and we don't say the size of the screen because...
Is it that one? I'm gonna keep putting links there until you say yes. So
yes, that should be. I was reading because it was too far away for me. I was actually checking what is the version that
is the one that ends with the pane expansion, drag handle and state.
Yes, exactly that one. That one, yes.
Can I file a bug to the documentation? Probably.
Sure, humor me.
You can, and it probably will end up on my plate. So
okay,
I don't know.
But the thing that you generated, that you linked, is generated by source code, so there should be.
Yeah, it's the API reference, so it should be.
Yeah, it's in the code, and then it becomes a website. Magic. So what do I do with this thing, Roberto? I don't do desktop. Well, now
you do.
Yeah, I do, but I don't do Android desktop. I do like real desktop.
Grown-ups desktop?
No, that's not what I meant. But when you say desktop, what do you mean? Like a Chromebook or something? Because who's running Android on desktop from a device point of view?
Well,
not Windows anymore.
Apart from Chromebooks, actually,
careful what you say now, because now we need to go there and edit the recording, Roberto. So
you have a red dot on your forehead. So just FYI,
I can see that. I can see that.
So careful what you say.
It's funny that we're doing all of this for no reason whatsoever.
If you go on d.android.com, you'll notice that this week is the Adaptive Spotlight week. So if you read more about that,
Sebastiano, share something.
Scroll down, and you scroll down.
I need to Google more.
No, until today. No, I can actually.
No.
I need to sign up to send a message.
It's fine. Put it on Telegram or Skype or whatever.
Okay.
Or you can log in on Twitch, so we have one more live audience.
I think it's counted even if you're not logged in, but I'm not sure.
Fair enough.
Let me open it with the other version.
Yeah, because I googled Adaptive Showcase Week, and nothing comes up that is even remotely relevant.
Maybe it's on the homepage, right? It was supposed to be spotlight kind of thing.
See, it's on the.
It is on the homepage. Yeah. Why did I Google it?
I have an idea.
I won. Oh yeah, because impressions pay my salary. I'm doing my part.
So actually, if you click on today, you see that actually there is a new developer preview, which enables desktop windowing on Pixel tablet, and if you don't have a Pixel tablet handy, Pixel tablet emulator as well. So that's actually what can run desktop on Android.
Wait, I mean, is it only for Pixel, or I can run it also on my Samsung? Because you are aware that your company sold about 5 Pixel tablet, right? So while the other one,
I know of at least 4. Who's the 5th one?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's like on some demo at Google I/O. But I'm serious. I mean, Samsung, that those are the tablets that you see around.
Well, so far is a developer preview only available on Pixel tablet and Pixel tablet emulator. So that's one way of trying it. So for sure.
I mean,
and actually that brings up the second point, because if your app is already optimized for large screen, and by now it should, if it's not, it should.
Shame on you. Shame on you.
I'm not saying, but I'm saying.
Stop saying.
I mean, well, you don't actually need to do many things to make it work flawlessly in a desktop environment. I mean, apart from supporting drag and drop, because I mean, looks like people love drag and drop. Okay, stop joking. I love drag and drop. I mean, I don't know why I'm so obsessed with drag and drop, but the idea of drag and drop triggers me. I'm like, I can drag and drop things. How many times a day do I drag and drop things? Never.
Once.
But I love the idea of being able to do it. And of course, there is also multi-instance support, because maybe you want your app to spawn 2 instances. Like, for instance, imagine that you want 2 Chrome tabs side by side.
Okay, so.
And you can do that by simply specifying a property in your manifest so that your activity will actually do that.
Is it going to be like 2 duplicated activities? How does it work? I mean, is it like going to be like two processes, tasks. 2 tasks?
Yeah. Like I believe there are 2 tasks. Yes.
Okay. So we have this desktop mode now for things that are not running on a tablet as we are used to, but are running on something that is similar. It is a bit more of a tablet, like in the sense that it also has a key. It's nice. It also has a keyboard or mouse. I mean, why does desktop mode exist? What's the return on investment? Let's say I have I'm starting, as you said, I'm starting from an app that already has like a decent support for tablets. Okay, so it's not locked, it rotates. I have a landscape layout that is okay. So I run, but I also run portrait on a large screen. So I also need to deal with that kind of stuff. So I'm not just enlarging my app. I have a proper layout for large screens. Now, what else? So what's as a developer, let's say indie developer. So I'm not Spotify, I'm not Netflix or whatever, right? So as an indie developer, what's the return of investment of adding desktop support?
You don't need to add desktop support. It is baked in. Once you optimize your app for large screen, you don't really need to do anything. I mean, unless you want your app to run in multiple instances for any reasons. I mean, if it's a productivity app, like a writing app or a slide making app or things like that, you might want to do that because maybe your users are used to do that on desktops. But apart from that, I don't think that there is actually many steps that you have to take in order to make it work.
Okay.
I mean, of course, mouse and keyboard will become more important because when you use desktop windowing, you tend to interact less with your finger and more with keyboard and mouse.
Okay, so that's the idea. So I'm moving away from. So I have a tablet app and I'm, tapping around. Now I have a desktop app. The idea is that I have my tablet on a desk in some sort of holder, and now I have a keyboard and a mouse. Mm-hmm. So basically, I'm using my tablet as a screen, right? Kinda.
Exactly, as it was like a normal monitor, I would say. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Probably more an all-in-one rather than a monitor, but yeah.
Yeah, but that's the idea, right? So the idea is that fair enough. It's a small monitor, or like
a monitor for ants.
Jesus Christ.
I remember the days where I was excited about a 7 inches monitor, one of those CRT monitors, and I was like, "Oh, that's huge!" Yeah,
man, and we get used to nice things very quickly.
Yeah,
but so that's the UX that you expect. So the idea is that in some scenarios, I'm using the same app on phone, and then for maybe some different task in the same app, I need a keyboard, or I'm more productive with a keyboard. So I just get my keyboard from my backpack, and now I have a keyboard.
Such a hacker.
And yeah,
always a keyboard with you.
Well, responding to one of the comments in chat, actually not. The desktop windowing will run on your tablet. We are talking about another thing here. Let's say it's a different. Imagine that you changed the Pixel launcher to have resizable windows.
Okay.
That is what desktop windowing is.
Yeah, so I've used it on my Pixel tablet. I have the Android beta installed onto it, and yeah, it's kind of like what if you have ever used Android on a Chromebook. That's what it feels like.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. That is the idea.
Okay, so that's 3 of you. Now, for the rest of us,
buy a Pixel tablet?
No, not buy
install Android Studio?
I want to understand. So it's different from like screen splitting, the thing that you can do now on the phone. So you're not splitting the screen, but you actually have a window, like with borders that you can drag and drop and resize stuff.
Exactly. Yes.
Okay. So how this thing is able to not fuck up the layout if you can resize it as you want.
Because you use the adaptive thing.
Okay, so I want to be walked through that. Because, you know, if I'm building something for phone and I'm saying, oh, yeah, you know, sorry, full width or 100 dps, and then you start resizing shit, how does it work?
So basically, if you don't do it in this way, but you rather use window size classes, so rather than thinking about the size, of course, there are cases in which you want to have some sizes, but we can walk through those later. But for the vast majority of cases, you don't really need that precision. You can simply say, I'm in a small area, so I'm not showing both the history detail, or let's say I'm a news app. I'm displaying the news one below the other. So classic list, you have picture, title, subtitle, you click, and you read the blog post, the article, whatever you read. When you have more space, you simply place whatever is the article, the blog post, on the side. But you don't need to know that it is 100 or 99 or 200 dps. You need to know that you have enough space.
Okay. But this is...
that, yeah.
Sorry, please, go on.
And that can be done in Compose is incredibly easy because you simply, if you don't use the material tree adaptive, that for people that never used it, it has nothing to do with the styling. It is the layout that powers your app. So basically, it has three components: the navigation, the list detail, and the supporting pane. And they can, of course, be mixed and matched. But they don't give you any style. You define the style.
The navigation, you mean the navigation? You mean the rail or the bottom nav?
Yeah, it will automatically move it, and you only need to define the icons and the destinations only once, which is quite good. And since it's made in a very simple way, it can work with every possible navigation tree that you might have. So it's very intuitive on that side. That said, even if you don't use the material tree adaptive components, by using the window size class, you always know in what position you are. So of course we defined some breakpoints, which I don't remember. If I remember correctly, for width are 600 and 840 dps, but don't quote me on these because I tend to forget numbers.
But also it doesn't really matter, right?
There is documentation, right?
Exactly. But if you use the window size class and decide that with medium, rather than having the list of your blog post being one by one, but having a grid or a staggered grid, that can be done. It's super easy. You don't need to know that it's that amount of DPs. But if you want that amount of DPs, you can still do it by using the window size class, by creating your own window size class.
Fair enough. But I wonder, okay, I don't want to create my personal window size class, so let's say for the sake of understanding and discussing how deterministic is to showcase the different layouts. So because at some point somebody at work is gonna ask, because you need to understand from a developer point of view, I'm gonna be the one that suggests to introduce this, right? Because no designer ever, I mean, maybe Chris Cinco is gonna come and say, oh, let's use this. Okay, but yes, hi Chris. So from a developer point of view, I need to sell this stuff to everybody in the company, starting from designers. And designers are visual people, probably, I'm assuming here. So I want to, let's say, wrap up a sort of simple app And I want to show what happens when you are on a phone, what happens when you are on a 7-inch iPad, or or on a 13 inches iPad. And I'm saying iPad on purpose
because you want to trigger Roberto.
No, I don't want to trigger Roberto. I want Roberto to have an ally in me, pointing out that there is no need for me to convince 100 people, right? Maybe, half of the people in the chat will be on board. Oh, let's spike this thing for a couple of days. Let's come up with a few layouts, and then we do some sort of demo at work. Because the real people that we need to convince is the CEO with the iPhone, is the designer with the 13 inches iPad Pro that costs like a car, and
the PM that says you have to add another 15 analytics SDKs this month.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean,
business priorities.
That's the least of the problems. Analytics, at least they do something. But from jokes aside, how do we imagine Little Ivan to present, to demo this thing? Let's say I want to do something live to say, this is how it looks when the user unfold the thing, or this is how it looks on a large screen, and maybe I just have a deco slide or like a sample app.
Well, I don't know how you do it, but it really feels like you read my outline. That's amazing. Actually,
you see, I'm an ally.
Did you actually send it to him?
No. Because
nobody read it.
No, but I mean, because I want to be surprised as well. But the reality is, if I mention things in the outline, let's be real, it means that Roberto is in touch with reality. Okay, so and that's not a given.
That's
right?
Nice to see. Yes,
that's nice to see. That sometimes somebody has a fucking idea how the world works. So please, Roberto.
So just recap. We started from how can I make all the resizing not explode, and how can I showcase these? Well, you have several tools, and they all work together. So the first thing is that if you use Jetpack Compose, and you should use Jetpack Compose because it's super easy and I love it, with your previews, you can use window size classes directly in the previews so that you have multiple previews with all the different layouts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you say, I want it a compact width and the compact height, a compact width and expanded height because I want like a remote control thing, or I have a medium and expanded, whatever. It will generate all the combinations that you want, and that's one thing. Another thing is that if you fire up your Android Studio, you'll notice that there is the resizable emulator,
okay,
which basically gives you the possibility of changing the kind of emulator, well, the kind of device that it's emulating, from a phone to a foldable that folds and unfolds, and to a tablet.
While it's running, I think that's the crucial thing.
Yeah, while it's running. So you don't have to change it. So it transforms.
It's the one emulator that does all the emulation for all the other emulators.
It's all in one.
Exactly. It's basically the place where you want to run these kind of tests, because you can simply resize and check and see how it runs. Of course, if you want to check how it resize in desktop windowing, then you will.
With another emulator, right? Okay.
Exactly, because in preview then is only on Pixel Tablet and Pixel Tablet emulator.
So the Pixel Tablet emulator is going to give you the fact that you can drag and drop the border of a Windows to change the size. Okay, so that's okay.
So
it's not a breakout point. How is it called? Breakout. Breakpoint.
Breakpoints. Yeah, they are breakpoints.
Breakpoints.
Yeah. Basically, how it resizing is a very complicated matter. So
no shit.
So if you want, there is a 40-minute talk on how resizing works. But long story short, based on the operating system version and on many other factors, you get a configuration change every time the size changes.
So if you're dragging, it's like change.
Well, no. Okay. I forgot a little piece. Every time, I don't remember the exact name of that, but every time that the size changes in a meaningful way. So if it changes enough, so you get a configuration change. So
it's like debounced based on the deltas.
Exactly. That doesn't mean that you have only some breakpoints. You can resize freely, but you don't always need to resize your layout. That only happens on certain breakpoints. So
okay, let's say, correct me if I'm wrong, the way I'm imagining it. So let's say I have like a card and there is some margin. So as long as I reduce the size, but I don't go on the card, probably I don't get a change.
While you're still eating into the margins, you mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm still eating into the margin, and I'm not pushing the card in any way. So probably I can survive without configuration change, because you know that I don't save the state. So if I get a new configuration change, everything restarts, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's how you want to do it, definitely. and basically,
I don't know how to do it. I mean, I know, throw everything in a view model, but then there is a lot of
that
memory
only works
consumption there.
If your app is not a web view.
Well, actually, I don't want to say
brag.
No, it's not brag. I was saying, like, in Italian we say like break a stick, but I don't remember the name in English.
Lance?
Yeah, no, but I don't think that we say break a lens in English in favor of web views. But web views actually is very good at managing its own state.
I mean, if I rotate Chrome, does that?
That's a whole different set of things that Chrome does under the hood, because for that to happen, you have to also manage manually many configuration changes, because that's how the web view works. But if you manage them correctly, then you see what Chrome does. But the web view per se is actually pretty good at managing its own state, because what the web view has to do is basically remember the scroll position on the page and remember the page.
Fair enough.
So
that's everything is cached.
If it were that easy,
so
we will be doing web.
If it were that easy, I wouldn't run into an app that gets you through 15 pages of wizard, and only at the last one you rotate the device by mistake and you have to start from the fucking beginning.
But that happens also on
fucking JavaScript.
On desktop.
That happens also on desktop, but
I don't rotate my desktop.
You don't rotate the desktop. That's the thing.
But apart from
where were we? Sorry, I interrupt. So you don't get.
Roberto was saying that he loves web views.
Yeah,
not necessarily.
That's noted. There is also. I'm also noting down the minute is 47 minutes, so we can clip this. And good luck getting the bonus at the end of the year, Roberto. Ciao, I'm Roberto. I'm DevRel 400, and I love web views. Okay, yeah, sure. Good luck. So, jokes aside, so you don't get notification or configuration changes every pixel that you move.
No, but
the borders.
No, but only when the config change is when the size config change is big enough. The problem is that you cannot really foresee it.
Predict
it's the system that chooses when to do it, right?
Exactly. It depends on the OS version, on the OEM, and on many factors. So that's
but you don't care, right?
Exactly. That's the point. You don't care. Because if you use
if you get a configuration change every 10 frames or every 20 frames or every 50 frames, for your UI it doesn't matter. You don't care.
Exactly. If you're using Windows size classes, you don't care.
But even if you only have a if available with is, and you don't even use that, you just have an if else, even that wouldn't care.
As long as you calculate
assuming
the window manager, yes, because it will calculate the right amount of space that you have, so it will basically work. Yes, but using Windows size classes is way easier. And again, you can
it does all that sizing. It does all the sizing for you and implements the logic to switch between the breakpoints for you.
Exactly. The idea behind the breakpoints that we have as defaults is that they mimic the vast majority of devices that are on the market. So for compact width, you would have something that is close to a phone or a foldable. When instead go to medium, it's an unfolded foldable, more or less.
Or a small tablet.
Or a small tablet. And when you go to
the Nexus 7.
I don't remember the size, but yeah, probably.
It was 7-inch, so probably.
No, I will say the DP. But yeah, don't remember.
10.
Probably 10, yeah.
But I have fond memories of that thing.
Yeah.
So
I threw it away at some point because it was not even booting anymore. I changed the battery. I tried to save it. It was one of the. He also had a cover, like a Kindle kind of thing.
I love the Nexus 7.
Anyway, good old days. I mean, I'm talking about something that is like 6 years old, like it was like a Apple II, but still.
No, well,
it's the emotions.
Maybe more.
I was still at university, so it's a bit more than 6 years.
10 years. I mean, it can be 10 years ago.
I think it must have been 2012 or 2013.
No, probably before. It was the second one was in 2013. So I believe it was the 2012, the first one, the first generation.
Still 12. Still
nice.
Decade ago. Cool.
So yeah, it's 12, almost 13 years ago.
So, what do we have on your outline? Anything else, Roberto?
Yes, because of course there is something that I always love to say is that please write tests. Please. Please write tests.
Come on, Roberto. Come on.
Are you Jose?
Yeah, you're just breaking our balls now.
I'm not Jose.
I only accept that order from Jose.
But if Jose is looking, Jose, you know that I love testing. For many reasons. First.
So what kind of tests? Let's do some outline. Like, what are you talking about? Because we also had screenshot testing last week, Roberto. We also do screenshots now.
Perfect. That's what you want. Yes, not screenshot testing in this case. I'm not talking about screenshot testing. But I'm talking about integration tests. In this specific case.
Integration tests, okay.
So one thing that, of course, we said, oh yeah, you can resize, you can move it the way you want and it will work. Yeah. How can I test that? Because the problem is that it always only works on my machine and often only on one of my devices. So I
I'm familiar.
I want to test. So we have
familiar, and also light team.
Never.
Usually Sebastiano checks on dark and says doesn't work on dark. But okay, so we are not. No, man. I mean, one is none. That's the idea, right? So, but we are not talking about the basic tests that I'm doing at work lately, right? Where I'm testing the composable. It's larger than that. So it's integration testing, and you are testing. First of all, what are you using for testing? Like Espresso? How does it work? Or UI Automator? Is it even a thing still?
UI Automator is still a thing. It depends what kind of test you're doing. But for now, we are talking about Espresso. So we're talking about the tests that you can use Espresso for. So the idea is that imagine that you want to test that when you tap the third article on your list, it opens the right detail, because you're not 100% sure that works. And of course, the user journey that you want to cover is not simply tap and see. You want to check that you tap, you open the article, and then you unfold. In that case, what you expect to happen is that not only you have the article on the side, but you also have the item selected in your list. How do you do that? Well, you have basically it's one API, but can do two things. But let's say that you have two API. From Espresso, you can use the on-device API to basically change the posture of your emulator. It only works on the emulator, of course, and you can change the display size. Okay, so you have I don't remember the name of the SDK now. My memory is very bad nowadays. I'm getting older, but you can resize your composable with the test harness, if I remember correctly.
Could be, yeah.
And you can
faint memory.
And that will resize basically the space that the composable takes, and then you can change the display size with the Espresso device API. So what you do is basically you set your device to be closed. In that case, it will be the resizable emulator or the pixel fold emulator if you prefer. That depends on you. You run your composable, you tap, you verify that you open the detail. At that point, you call Espresso once again. You say, oh, okay, now I want it to be open. And then you can finish your check. And you check if you have, for instance, the detail that is still shown at the point where you scrolled, and the indicator is actually highlighting the right item on the list. And this is important because, I mean, you don't have to, I mean, the more tests you write, well, I will say the less issues you see, but I'm old enough to see that
the faster you find the issues.
Exactly. The faster you see it exploding. Then finding the issue is another matter, but
so we have a couple of APIs, or one API that does two things, that is able to drive the emulator size and form factor and state, open, close kind of thing.
And tabletop.
Excuse me?
And tabletop.
What's tabletop?
It's when your foldable is folded. Where is the camera? In this way.
It's the okay. But because that's a shape, that's a legit state, because you can have like a keyboard and like watching YouTube.
Okay. And actually, that's where we go back to the beginning of the show, and we talked about Android 15, because
whoa,
I'm blowing because from Android 15 we have a new API that comes from the window info tracker, that will give you the list of supported postures that your device
is
has.
it updating?
Yeah.
Okay, so
it just paused.
So I can query something on the system that tells me your phone is a goat. How was it?
Well, so basically it will tell you. So one issue that there was with Android 14 is that in order to understand if your device was a foldable, you needed to have it unfolded, because there wasn't like the piece of the system that will tell you if the device was a foldable while folded was not always present, was part of the window manager Jetpack SDK, if I remember correctly. With Android 15, you don't need your device to be unfolded. So when your device is closed, you query this API, and it will tell you that it supports tabletop. At that point, you can safely
essentially
assume...
in Android 14, there is no API to tell you this is definitely a foldable if the foldable is closed.
Yeah,
because in that case, it could be a normal phone and you would never know.
Exactly. So that's why you need Android 15 for well, you don't
updates,
need,
folks.
You don't need Android 15. You need the Windows SDK extension. No.
Okay, so
6,
Android 15. Who's getting Android 15 apart from the Pixels? Fucking hell! I mean phones.
Sorry.
Phones. Jesus, non people. Apart from the Pixels, so Roberto that has it's touch with reality. So touching grass and touching reality. Who's getting it? Is it Samsung foldable phones, or are they getting Android 15?
I hope. I have no knowledge of that. I hope so.
Do you have Android? Do we have Android 15 on the Huawei origami fucking phone?
I have no idea what that runs.
Okay.
I mean, I would love to try it.
I want to understand.
I would also love to try it.
I don't even know if we have it in Europe. I don't think so.
No,
maybe we all need
Who's
to go
going
to
Shanghai? Sebastiano, come on. Just find a way to go there.
A plane?
That's a way to go there, indeed.
Or you can take a ship. It probably will take a while.
But he only.
We can do a road trip. Let's do a road trip
to Beijing.
Yeah, the Silk Road.
Plus, there is Ukraine, I think, in the middle.
I mean, planes also have to deal with that. So
fair enough.
But even, do you know that actually there are 2 people from our zone that are doing that, not to Beijing, but to probably Shanghai with an old panda, like the old panda.
Oh, wow.
Okay, fair enough. Brave people and a lot of free time.
Are they collecting mushrooms on the way?
I hope they do, because otherwise I don't see that happening. It's still a panda.
Okay.
Sorry, for folks that have no idea what the fuck we're talking about, the very old Fiat Panda, the first generation, it came... So there is a 4x4 version, like a full all-wheel drive version, that is stereotypically used by people that live in the mountains to go and collect mushrooms at 5 a.m. And it has to be this color. Exactly this color.
It's the
military green.
The Sizzle. Sizzle, the Sizzle 4x4 Panda.
Yes.
Yeah.
And by the way, this is just like, very off topic. They are like unfindable. The used market is just non-existent.
Because they still work and people are still using them.
But the thing is, they still work because Greta is not happy. Okay, first, statement number 0. Greta is not happy. Statement number 1: you open the hood and you can fix everything with a wrench, a hammer, and a screwdriver,
and enough blasphemies.
MacGyver the shit out of it, right? And you get home. So that's the thing, right? There's no electronic, no nothing. So, you know, I really
barely passes the threshold for being defined a car.
Yeah,
like I mean, it has the wheels and an engine and possibly a gear shift.
Yeah,
that's it.
The thing is that it's a goat because, you know, it's super light. It's 4x4. The thing is just unstoppable.
Yeah, and I remember that mine only had like 4 shifts, and the rear, not even 5, 4, and no radio whatsoever. Like literally, and you don't see any plastic inside though.
Who needs that? Who needs that?
I mean, literally,
you need to focus on driving.
I mean,
why do you need?
You're going to the woods. Just roll down the windows and listen to nature.
Yeah,
and the very loud engine.
Why would you bother? Okay, so we don't go to Shanghai. We don't go to Panda. Close the you know, the excursus. So back now with Android 15, we have an API that feels like sci-fi, where I can ask the operating system, like, I'm on a foldable. Am I on a foldable?
No, you cannot ask, am I on a foldable? You can say, does this device place itself in tabletop? That's the thing you ask.
I mean, I understand that APIs are hard, but for fuck's sake, I mean, can you make it like an enum with some reasonable value? Why it has to be a Boolean? Can you sit on a table?
But
phone.
It's not.
Yes. And now I'm assuming that the thing folds because
it's not a Boolean.
You know, jokes aside, okay, thank God it's not a Boolean.
It's a list.
But jokes aside, imagine, let's say, because we are thinking about foldable, like, you know, the Pixel Fold. Okay, it's a thing, like, it looks like a book and it folds and you can put it on the table. But now you also had the Huawei, right? So what's the Huawei? The Huawei, you can place it as a like this, right? You can place it like a I don't know, nightstand. How do you call it in English? Nightstand. But that's the thing, right? You can make a chair out of it. So how do I know if, you know, the screen is in a weird configuration? You wouldn't know, probably.
Well, that depends on the device, because so far that API only returns the fact that it supports for tabletop mode. But that's exactly why it's a list, so that
it's a list.
Yeah, it's a list of postures that the device supports. So far, it supports tabletop. Who knows in the future? But I guess that
it's a list with one item.
As of today,
it's
a list of one item. Yes. Who knows? But I mean, imagine if you need to.
Well,
and also
a non-empty list. Well, at least it's not empty.
Well, it will return an empty list.
Yeah, but so how do you get the state? You don't get the state, right?
Not to get the state. To get the state,
that's the thing. It's not the state; it's the capability.
Exactly, it's the capability. Then you can query the state whenever you need. For instance, if you want to do.
So there is a state API.
There is, yeah, the one that you've used so far to query what is the current posture of the device, which will tell you the orientation of the hinge based on the ground, basically, if it's vertical or horizontal, because based on that, you will have it in one way or another, because if your device is held this way, is different than if it's held this way.
Yes.
So these will
definitely
tabletop. Yeah.
The orientation of the hinge, right? So this is a vertical hinge,
and that's
and this is horizontal hinge.
Exactly. Yes, and it will tell you if it's open, half open, or closed, and it open or half open, because the closed it's not there, if I remember correctly. So if you see that the hinge is horizontal and it's half open, then it means that the current state is
it's like this.
Exactly, is tabletop. Why the API is only giving you the capability? Because that's an API that you only query once. So if you want to run any sort of A/B test, you would use the new API to say, hey, is this a foldable? Can I don't know, download these other features that I have in a separate split APK,
whatever,
separate bundle, whatever, and you can optimize that in that way. It's a function that you will run once. It's just a simpler way to do it rather than waiting for the device to be placed in tabletop with your app running and doing the same. So it's just a commodity, basically.
Okay. So it tells you basically if you are dealing with a foldable.
Exactly.
That's it. Well, and you will use it probably, when you launch the app, or in a way that, if it's a useful information for you, you have it. Okay.
Sorry, I'm spamming panda stuff in the chat in the meantime.
What are you spamming?
That thing, though, is indestructible. I mean, you cannot destroy a panda.
You can try. I mean, if you try YouTube hard enough, you will find panda versus everything, and it's the best. You're just the best. And again, you can't actually buy. I'm trying to buy one because I want to have it as a memento of what the Italian people could do.
when we used to try.
Yeah,
a bit harder than we do these days.
Because I also, I saw a documentary and they were talking about the shape. Well, why it has that very boxy shape, and the reasoning was it was cheaper.
Yeah,
it was cheaper to bend the chassis and the everything. And in reality, man, the thing it became an iconic, and it was out of necessary and ingenuity and that's
and budget constraints,
and that's it. Yeah, when I keep saying constraints sparks creativity, that's the thing. It's one of those incredible truths. Like, if you have everything gets boring very quickly. If you have to make things works, man, the weirdest shit comes up. I mean, they landed a rocket in a hug. and when you think about why, well, because we want to save weight, so the more stuff you leave on the ground, and now we have like a gigantic tower that hugs a rocket, so the rocket is not that heavy. And I was like, yes. That's the kind of attitude. But it's very cool. So yeah, we can do cool stuff. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
Roberto.
Actually, I wanted to respond to one very interesting question that has been
thank you for looking at the interesting part of chat.
I have a filter.
Silly question. Let's go.
Which is not silly at all. Actually, it's very on point. So the idea is that you would leverage the hinge to detect when the device is on tabletop. At that point, the lowest part of your screen,
which is the one that is touching the table,
exactly, is the one where you should have all the controls, and the upper part is the one where you should not have touchable controls. I mean, it's okay
because if you touch it, it's going to be like bloop, bloop,
exactly.
Bloop.
So based on that, it's still only one display. It's your layout that basically splits, and it's something that you should do in your app. Basically, it's not super complicated because you basically divide your screen by half, and
that is assuming that the two screens are identical.
Yeah, but it will be very weird to have an asymmetrical phone in your pocket.
Tell that to Huawei.
But those three things are, I think they are the same size. But okay.
I don't know. But
I don't know. I think it's like an origami, like a legit 1/3, 1/3, 1/3.
So
how do the app knows which side is on the table?
Sensor orientation. Yeah, it's the sensor orientation. Basically, the sensor. So if you split it by half vertically, based on which part is touching the table, your app will look right, basically, because the lower part of your
do you have an API for this?
No, you
don't have an API to understand which part is the one that is horizontal, flat on the table, and which
it's always the bottom half.
Exactly.
You only need to know if it's in a configuration where you should do that. Okay, that's the only thing you care.
Imagine that I'm writing an app that has a video portrait. Okay, I'm portrait. Imagine this.
You're YouTube. So
I'm YouTube. So there is the video and there are the comments below. Now my phone is closed, right? So now I open my phone and I place it on the table. How do I know, or do I need to know, which layout piece goes on the vertical, the screen that I'm facing, and now the video has to be, full screen, and the comments need to go on the table, and maybe now I also have the stats and let's say the chat, because now I have way more space because I'm going from portrait, it's long but it's very narrow. Now I'm on a landscape semi layout. So that's the thing. So how do I know how to move the pieces, and how do I know if I need to do things to reallocate the pieces?
So first, there are two different paths that you take. The first one, if you're using Jetpack Compose, that's going to be easy, because you basically that will cause a recomposition. Your Windows S class will change. You will query again, because you'll always be querying about the posture at this point. And if you detect that you're in tabletop, you will move. You will basically create a column, split in half, place the player on top and the rest on the bottom, and that will work. If you hold the phone in the other way, well, orientation will change, cause the recomposition, same thing, and that is. If you're not using Jetpack Compose, on the other hand, you have to rely on the on configuration change callback. At that point, you do the same. You recalculate the Windows S class, you calculate the posture, and you will inflate the right layout, move the constraint, whatever thing. You don't need to detect if it's portrait or landscape. You only need to detect if the hinge is vertical or horizontal, because if it's vertical, that means that even if it's in tabletop, it's actually in a mode which is called book mode.
Okay.
And you don't really want your video to be taking the whole left or right part of the screen, because it will be like rotated 90 degrees. And
yes, I understand. Yeah. But so you have an if else and a bunch of composable that you pick and you mix and match according to if the Windows class and the hinge position tell you that you are portrait or landscape. So that's the idea, right?
No. Portrait and landscape are two concepts that you only use based on the content, while horizontal and vertical is the position in space. So to respond to another question, which actually comes in handy, the black bars that we get on the inner screen when unfolding, that's called compatibility mode, or letterboxing for friends, is caused by four factors. The first one is you lock the orientation. That means that basically in the worst case scenario, when you unfold and you unfold on a device which has a screen which is perceived as a landscape screen, in this case landscape is because it's wider and higher, then basically what will cause is basically a loop where you see your app rotate and then rotate again because it will be requesting the wrong orientation. So if you basically lock the orientation and you unfold, chances are that before the recomposition, if you don't choose compose, you will see the black bars because basically you're requesting an orientation and an orientation for a moment, which is not available anymore. Another thing that happens, and usually those things happens together, is the fact that your activity is not resizable. So basically, you launch your activity on the smaller screen, then you unfold. Now you have a different orientation, a different size, and your activity doesn't know what to do. So basically, it stays there in the middle. Or on some devices, you can move it to one side or the other, but still, you'll see the black bars. So to avoid black bars at all, the best thing is let your activity resize and let it rotate. You have different choices there. Either if you're with Compose, managing state is super easy. We said that a lot of times. I'm also a fan of Compose, so yeah. But if you're using views, there are multiple ways in which you can actually preserve your state. You can use on-save instance state, which might be a bit more complicated. You can use a repository kind of pattern. You can simply use a view model. You can use multiple strategies. You can decide to not let the system handle. Yeah, you should never lock on portrait. Never. That's something that you should never do. But what I was saying.
If you were using views and not compose,
right.
you can.
Right. Still forgot what I was saying, so I will start. If you're using views, and you can leverage also the on-configuration change to detect. You can leverage the on-configuration change and manage all the configuration changes that you can, which is harder. Or you can simply preserve the state and let the system handle. If your activity gets destroyed and recreated, that's fine. I have my state. I can restore it. So it depends, but locking the orientation is also not helping in, try to run your app on the Pixel tablet emulator.
Don't, but Mark is trolling, Roberto.
For a moment, I was like, okay, Mark is saying something, and since he usually is one of the wisest person I know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but not here.
I was like, wait, let me read it through because that's my
we bring out the worst of Mark Ellison. Yeah. proudly bringing out the worst. Okay, but that makes sense. So the first suggestion that you have, as I understand, is if you are locking your app in portrait, just give it a try. Unlock the thing and try to understand what happens when you rotate the screen. If it's kind of working, probably you just give it a nudge, you save a bit of state every here and there, and you go with it. And with this mindset, it will help you to be more compatible with foldables.
Yeah, but also to be honest, the best scenario is when you lock the orientation, then you unlock it and your app crashes. That's actually the best scenario because it will tell you exactly where to look for and what to look for.
Yeah.
Because it will
follow the red.
So
Roberto, every time you talk to me about large screens and how to make things work on like multiple devices and whatever, I cannot help hearing in my head, you only need to do the things the way you're supposed to do them and it will work.
Exactly.
If you cut corners, it's not gonna work. If you do them right, it's gonna work.
And if they don't, open a bug and probably.
And it's Roberto's fault.
Exactly.
Well, at that point.
And actually, for what concerns all these kind of things, the word that starts with F and ends with R supports the same technologies. So, yeah.
Do you need to go at the platform level to take advantage of that, or do they bring it up to Dart for you?
No, it's all brought up. So you actually have the same idea. Yeah, but actually all the platforms have some sort of window size classes, so it helps a lot. I mean, the idea of querying for the orientation, and if the device is of a specific kind, like a NIS tablet flag, are very
Did you say is tablet flag?
Yeah.
Yeah, like back in the days.
Yeah, that's not something that you should do anywhere. But
it worked for 10 years, Roberto.
It worked mostly because it really depended on what devices you were run on. So
yeah, potato, podildo.
It works on my tablet.
See, it works.
Oh, I mean, that's what people would say. Oh, you know, I have 2 tablets and it works on both of them, so it works on all the tablets.
It's 100%.
Yeah,
100% coverage.
Yeah, but it's actually not. I mean, it's one other approach that has been taken, which doesn't scale well. It's listing the devices that you think are tablets. That doesn't scale well. Just think about it.
Well, I mean, with 15 million Android devices, it doesn't really make sense. But I like the idea that, you know, things are moving in a direction where we get cheaper foldables at some point. And if you start working on that today, you will be one of those apps that, you know, pioneer the support for foldables, and you're going to be there when they start spreading the device. I mean, we need to wait for Apple, of course, the moment you have a foldable iPhone.
And ideally for cheaper foldables.
Yeah, I mean, Apple, you don't need cheap.
But for Android,
for now, our side, we need people like Xiaomi that, you know, they really push the envelope to make something cheaper. But, you know, I think that the technology is getting there. I mean, we are seeing nice things.
I think like this year's foldables are actually really good. They're just expensive.
They are expensive because, you know, it's always like, you know, how is it called? Like at the beginning of the bell curve, right? So you are at the beginning of the whole thing, and we need to wait for the bulk of the market to jump on.
Yeah.
But I think that it could work, you know, especially if they are not super fat.
Yeah, no.
Like, you know, if you have like a decent, how is it, thickness?
Yeah. This generation is actually very thin, and the issue is not an issue. It's how technology works at the moment. Is that they are anyway top tier devices, and
I mean,
even like Pixel and Samsung are definitely not the only 2, or Huawei are not the only 3 OEMs having foldables. Xiaomi is
Motorola.
They have a foldable?
Yes, they do have a foldable, but it's only sold in mainland China.
Okay, fair enough. Sebastiano, you really need to go there.
Let's buy that Panda.
Oppo, OnePlus, they all have their second or third generation of foldable. Yeah, so
the action point for everyone is buy foldables. So there are more foldables out there, and then you cannot ignore all this stuff anymore.
It's a bold statement because they're still
not affordable. We have 10 to 12 viewers. I think that will make a difference.
I mean, yeah, it's.
I mean, everyone here.
I'm pretty much. I would prefer the Panda, but okay.
I mean, maybe because the same. I don't know.
I'm happy that it's cheap to get on board from a software point of view, because that's a good selling point.
Well, you don't have anything to lose. I mean, the thing is that if you keep on looking at the ROI today, it's going to be always more work. Whatever feature is, I mean, new feature usually involves work. There's nothing to do. I mean, you don't get anything like that you wake up in the morning and works. So the ROI for every feature is that it's something that you don't really, it doesn't really take much time. And if you do it, if you follow the guidelines today for everything, like making it adaptive, using Compose the right way, and it's all less work that you have in the future.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
It's 8 p.m.
It's yeah. Let's go. It's also we are also offline because I don't see anything on Twitch. Are we live?
I think we are. Yes.
Okay.
I mean, OBS thinks we are.
Oh yeah. There was a glitch in the stream. So let's wrap up, shall we?
Yes.
Because this was a lot of information, and also a lot of hope for the future, because it was good. So once again, if you want to support us for free, and if you have an Amazon Prime subscription, you can connect your Amazon account to your Twitch account, and you will see a toggle on your Twitch app that says subscribe with Prime for free. We get like $1, I think, out of that, and we can print stickers. Hopefully we can print stickers and things that we bring at conferences, and we give away when we meet you in the audience. Again, if you want to join our coffee subscription, check out the link in the description. If you want to buy the latest t-shirt that we created, or every other thing, let me pick the...
If you want to be that person.
If you want to be that person that has a mug during an early meeting that says this meeting could have been an email, just check out our merch store, and I will also put a link in the description, and you will probably see the products below. And yeah, thank you for the support. Roberto, Sebastiano, were you saying something?
Yes, I wanted to say thank you, Roberto. I keep thinking, oh, this is, I cannot shake the mental phrase of like, oh yeah, you should just do things proper. Obviously there's more to it than that, but I think a lot of it, like a lot of the issues that you talk about, happen when you cut corners. That's pretty much it. And yes, we can promise we will bring a Roberto with us. We'll dress him up nicely, and
for Halloween.
Yeah, you have office hours in London, right?
I do have office hours in London. So yeah, if you have questions for me, I'll be around anyway.
Yeah. Do you do code reviews as well?
I can. I mean.
Lock to portrait. No, never.
No, I refuse to do that.
I don't want to do that. But
I'll bring stickers that says unfold.
Nice, like Windows class. The thing that I want to stress is actually what Sebastiano said, is that do the right thing. It's easier, and the return of investment is positive. That's it. This is something that we need to stress. I think as a community, we need to stress on the fact that you don't need to wait for the iPad design to try to do something nice on Android if it's at very small cost.
Even if you don't have the designs for different layouts, even if you don't have all of that, just doing the right thing with not blocking orientation, not trying to do weird shit, not trying to prevent the OS from doing what it's supposed to do, saving and restoring the state correctly, like that will give you the work you do today is going to pay over the next few years, because it's not just the work you need to do for like adaptive layouts. It's also the work you need to do for your app to work well, for people not to complain, for your product to work better for everyone out there. And it's just that.
And there are competitors. So, we probably don't think enough about, we don't talk enough about competition. Because if you are Netflix, you really don't give a shit about, Letterbox, whatever, Roberto, you're foldable, yeah, fuck you. But
I think they actually support it.
Netflix has an amazing app on Android.
Also, I don't think they relate to people like Roberto like this. So probably it was exaggerated.
You mean they don't tell him to fuck off?
Yeah, kind of, right. But
that's why he has friends.
Jokes aside, so when you are like a normal company with a product that has to win the hearts and the minds of users, like Mikey was saying in the chat, if you are slightly better, that could mean thousands of users, and it could mean hundreds of subscriptions,
and it's not that much more effort.
It's not that much work, right? So,
and once you've done it, you've done it. You don't need to keep doing it.
Yeah, well,
I mean,
as long as Roberto,
as long as nobody else fucks up anything in the meantime.
As long as you write tests.
Yes.
Yeah, fair enough. But that's the thing, we need to stress this. We need to stress that it's an investment. It's a tiny investment for the future, for the discoverability of the app, for user churning, and that's it, right? And stars on the Play Store.
And for your pride of knowing that you can rotate the screen and it's not going to blow up your app.
Well, if you need that, yes, okay.
I mean, if you're proud about what you do,
look, I can rotate.
It's just going to be like, what the fuck are you doing? My son is stupid.
Anyway. Are you having a stroke? What the fuck are you doing? Anyway, okay. So thank you again for being with us, Roberto. Please feel free to come back as soon as you have more cool stuff to show.
Android 15 again?
More.
Who knows?
Bring a tablet.
Bring a tablet that you can show live on Twitch, so we go to jail.
I mean, the one tablet. There's not that much choice.
Maybe there is a secret tablet, and we show it on live on Twitch. 10 people will see it.
Sure.
And cease and desist. It jails with Italian.
You forget that Google deploys the snipers opposite Roberto's building when he's live streaming.
They are there. I can see them. They are waving at me and saying, "Hey!" They are not really sneaky. They don't care.
Next week, we're off. The week after, we're off because we are in DroidCon London. So if you're in DroidCon London, come find us. Get some of those stickers that you might or might not have contributed to, but do contribute if you get stickers. So you get more next time. And we'll see you the first week of November. We have Mishal Rahman, which you might have seen on socials. He's the guy that loves spoiling all the features that are dropping in Android.
What?
He's a journalist. But he's also like he also works on Android Faithful with Huen, he's a great guy, and we're gonna be talking about trunk stable Android, because in case you didn't know, Android 15 is the first Android release that ships in a different way than before.
Okay.
I got intrigued.
Yeah, sure. Is it like in 3 weeks?
Yes.
Okay.
On November 6th, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Okay. Well, I mean, we are gonna do something from London, because why not? Some.
I mean, they're gonna be shorts, most likely, knowing you.
Yes.
But
a lot of pictures and very very cheesy music.
We're gonna do a swag review of all the boots.
That's actually a good idea. They will love us.
And then we end up in the Android Studio booth, and there's me there, like, go away.
Go, or you give away foldables, and that's the best.
Or I give away Android Studio for free.
Sure,
that's a win.
That's a win-win. That's a hard sell. I mean, at least like a discount code on StudioBot Pro or something.
There is
Do
no
you
such
have a
thing?
StudioBot Pro?
No.
I don't know.
It's free. Why the fuck would you want to pay for something that is already free?
It's a scam with Italians.
I have a fountain to sell.
Let's see. Anyway, beautiful people, enjoy your evening. Ciao, Roberto.
Bye,
Thank you
folks.
again.
Have a great
one.
one.
Ciao. Thanks for having me.